Okay, I am back for another challenge for myself, my own personal sculpting challenge. So, got Blender open here. Let's just delete these. Actually, we'll delete that one too. We're going to add a sphere. Going to hit 5 to go into sculpt mode. I'm going to turn on symmetry up there. Okay, hit G to go to grab. Scale it up. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to sculpt a fish, because I've never sculpted a fish before, and I thought that would be a little bit different than sculpting a head. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know, it might be easier. I am looking at a little reference on the side. I'll show you what it looks like. It's this gray, black and white sketch. So it's not an illustration, or it's not a photo, but we'll see. We'll see how it looks. I'm just going to use the grab brush to get the overall shape. And again, I'm using my little pen tablet, where I can draw directly on the screen. I don't know what to call it, like it's a monitor that I can draw on. So I'll just try and get as much as I can out of this low-res geometry as I can. The fins, the other fins, I think they might be different circles. So let's go to the front view. Kind of tapers. Kind of a fat round valley. Let's see how it looks up here. Now I'm just going to have to infer a bunch of stuff because I can't see the entire fish, obviously. Let's make it go skinnier up there. It's probably a lot skinnier in the back end. I think that's how fish do. Don't want to change that profile up too much. Okay, so now I'm going to hit Shift R. Let's add a little bit more geometry to this. Control R to remesh. I use Shift to smooth it out a little bit. Then I'll use the Draw Sharp brush. And we're going to start putting in some landmarks here. So this comes up like this. This is where the fin goes. Let's get another fin down here. Another fin down there. This goes up there. One up there, and a fin up there, and the eyeball is probably around this area. So I'm not sure exactly what it's doing, but there's some other line up here. This is why probably a photo would be better. I'll have to look at a photo of a real fish here in a second. So I think we want to come in a little bit more. I'm going to pull up another fish. Okay, I'm going to go back into object mode. I'm going to add another sphere. I'm going to go to edit mode. I'm going to select all. So I do it this way so that all of the so the origin stays in the center. So when I mirror it, it's just a lot quicker and easier. Let's let's just like start sculpting this. Let's adjust it first. Oops. And then let's go into 5 to sculpt it. G. Oh, why am I using my mouse? Sometimes I use my mouse for things and I forget that I have a pen in my hand. Probably goes away from the body. Let's do this. Edit. Rotate. Okay. And again, we're just getting in the rough details here. Okay, add another one. I like to scale it in edit mode so that all of the transformations, so it stays at 100%. If I do it outside of edit mode, then there could be some wonky results if I ever have to add modifiers or anything to it. Okay, going to sculpt. We'll turn on, since this is staying in the center, we'll just turn on symmetry. Go to the side view so we can kind of match this first fin. It's the general shape of that. Okay, and then I'm going to actually duplicate it. Control D and then Y. And then we'll bring it down. Okay, so this one's a little bit smaller. Doesn't go back as far. Kind of like tapers off into a gradual decline. And we'll add a lot more detail in a second. So with this back fin, this one has to come in quite a bit. So now that we have more geometry, we can actually bring that in quite a bit and kind of shape it a little bit better. Smooth out some of those harsh edges. There are shortcuts using the industry standard key map, which is what I'm using. Which is I don't know if I need to remind people, but so I just go like. I click the little X up here to go to the side view. You can hit V and then hit, you know, a number or whatever. Right, V top, V left, V whatever. I just, maybe I'll start doing that, but I just typically go to that little, see, it's just right there. It's quick. But you should probably use shortcut. So this has more of a little sharp edge right in there. It's not that pronounced. I can actually polish it down a little bit. Ooh, once I start polishing it, it gives a nice angle to that fin I really like. really dig into that. I don't want to get too focused on the details right now. I'm just still kind of blocking it out, but I definitely can get some details in. Okay, there's actually more fins on the very bottom, so let's do that real quick. This might be more work than I actually thought it would be with all these fins. So these ones kind of angle down like this. They're a little bit smaller, not much. And they're shaped a little bit differently. Shift, and then I'll remesh this to kind of clean up that geometry. Okay, and then one more fin. Just copy this one, Control D, Z to bring it down, and then right up there, and then we'll hit 5. Oops, let's go to Alt X. Kind of see where the end of that is. It looks like, let's do that. Hitting Shift. Okay. Alt X. Okay, so let's see the profile. Let's see our reference. That's our reference. So I'll adjust the shape a little bit more. Then I'll start working on the face details. Ooh, I'm gonna add in an eyeball right now. So Shift A, mesh. Let's do the sphere. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the fins. I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to mirror it, scale it, and they stick out quite a bit. So I'll just make them stick out, maybe even exaggerate it a little bit because give it a little bit of character. They're kind of a little bit flatter too, like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rotate it. And they kind of doo-doo. Looks like a fish. Okay, so let's start sculpting some details in the face and see if I can't figure out what these are actually doing. So we'll start with the draw sharp brush, and it's got like a nose up here. Its actual mouth I think is right here. Jeez, that is ugly. What is, it's not looking like a fish. Hold on. Do they not have noses? That drawing looked like it had a nose, but I don't think fish have noses. They definitely don't have noses, I don't think. And if you're watching, you're like, hey, you idiot. No, they're not. They don't have noses, they're fish. All right. Let's try. This is going to be a complete fail, I can already tell. Once I start getting into the detail. Oops, what did I just do? Wrong one. Okay, let's... build up some fish lips. Fish don't have a lot of features. Using the clay brush here to kind of build stuff up and take it away. Mouth might be too big. Like that. I'd rather sharpen it or flatten it. I think I'm going to need some more geometry for this. All right. I think I found a fish face that I'm going to try and emulate. They're not the best. Okay, so fish are, there's so many different types of fish. It's hard to just find one and kind of focus on that, especially when I started with a drawing as a reference. So I think this is going to become a amalgamation, is that a word, of a bunch of different kinds of fish. And hopefully it might look like a fish in the end. So we'll see. I kind of like how this look on him. A lot of them are really ugly. Which isn't their fault. But they are. Some of them have this weird, like, maybe that's their nose up near there. I don't know. Let's see. You know, I've seen some fish that have the front, the lower lip jut out more. Maybe I'll make it like that. I'm trying to salvage this fish. So let's get some more geometry in here. Let's go down that. Okay. It's occurred to me that I don't ever draw fish, so I don't really know what they look like. I think I'm going to give it some eyelids too. I don't know if fish have. I think some of them, they have like these weird eyelids, so it's probably fine. Oh my gosh. Should probably add some teeth in here too, since now it's looking like a really mean fish. Gotta step back. Polish up different parts. I think we're gonna have to kind of. This mouth is not cooperating. Let's use the draw sharp brush. We'll kind of just trying to find this edge of this mouth a little bit more. Let's build this side up a little bit. It's going to become a monster fish. I wish I had a better reference that I could reference. But it is what it is. Okay. I'm going to shift, control, shift R. No, I got to go into sculpt mode. Shift R. Let's go down. And then I will control R. And we will back in edit mode, and we will start to try and sculpt this fin. Smooth it out, try and fix the shape. Let's get that polish brush, whatever they call it, scrape I think they call it maybe. So there's not a lot of geometry here. You know, I'm trying to put in detail and nothing's really taking here. So I'm going to have to go down even further. Okay. This might work. So I got to figure out how to add sharp little edges. Honestly, don't know if the back of the fin looks the same, but in our world it does. Tired. Okay, let's see if that carried over to the other side. Yep. Okay, let's go into edit mode or object mode, Shift R. Let's go back down. Let's take this one down to pretty far. Okay, smooth it out, Shift D to go to the draw sharp brush. Let's see what polishing it does. Get a nice edge on it. Back to Shift D. Sweet. Five, go into sculpt mode, Shift R, let's go down to pretty small again, Control R, G, smooth it, Shift D to go into the draw sharp, and I'll just add some lines. And I think this like goes up a little bit more. Okay, that's good enough. Five, maybe I should have done this tail as a separate element, but it is fine. Let's polish this tail up, try and make it a little bit skinnier too at the same time. We need to add some dimension to this, or some edges and some. See, fish, they just don't have a lot of dimension, so maybe this was a bad thing to try and sculpt, but it's too late. Okay, let's see what it looks like, how much detail I can get. It's a little bit less than the tails or the other fins. That's better. Okay. Sure what's going on with his mouth. I'm gonna add some teeth for fun. Let's add a cylinder, I guess. Scale it. Scale. Oops. Come on, just Z. Alt-C adds edge loops on with the industry standard key mapping. So let's select those. We're going to scale these down, but we're going to hit, I believe it's B for the this one right here, proportional editing. So I've got to scroll up to make it smaller. And I can hit 0 if I want. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna have to adjust some of these vertices manually. Oops. B to turn that off. Scale this up. Oops. Just double clicking on these edge loops to try and. Okay. Let's take it back down to its origin. So what I'm going to do, actually, because this will be easier. Let's see if I can remesh this. 5 Shift R. Control R. I'm just going to sculpt a tooth real quick. Shift E. Focus on that. So now it'll, I hit F to focus on that. So now it'll rotate around that. What I'm working on. So just give it some subtle tooth lines, right? I don't know what a fish tooth looks like. I don't think it looks like this. Actually, I think it, you know what? I think it's a lot squishier and sharp. G. I think fish teeth have like a serrated edge to them. So if I were a better artist, I would add that serrated edge. So I'm going to put in this row of teeth. And I'm just going to keep duplicating it. Actually, let's see, what am I going to do? I don't want to do like, I want them all in the same object, so that when I mirror it, it just mirrors simply. So I'm going to actually, in edit mode, I'm just going to keep copying them and then just adjusting them in edit mode. I might have to duplicate them and then do the top side as well. Oops. I should probably save it though, because. So if you want to select, you just hit up and it will select everything connected to that. I know there's another, in the Blender key mapping, there's another way of doing it, like Control L or something. I can't remember, but that's not how we roll here. Okay, So let's mirror that. Select these, and I'll just hit a bunch. Okay, and then I will duplicate this one. It's a good thing I didn't turn on clipping. Okay. Do I need upper teeth? Let's see how it looks. Control D, hit Z. Let's right click and let's mirror on the Z. Okay. Do we need these? We'll just add them there. That's fine. So now we can sculpt around those teeth. See what that looks like. See how this wrinkles over here? Like it goes up and down. That's something I got to try and work on, is making sure those lines stay straight. It would just make for a better sculpt. Let's polish that up. I'm going to add eyelids to this. It's going to look awesome. I bought some brushes off of ArtStation, and I think I'm going to try them here. They're actually pretty cool. They're designed to make everything go quicker. So I'm going to go to object mode. I'm going to append. Where is it? D blender brushes. So they're designed, there's a whole lot of them, to just kind of, they're kind of like stamp brushes to, and they're alphas really. So when you load them, it loads it into this sculpt draw, and you have to click up here. So to click on it, and I don't know what this looks like. Those are not the kind I want. Let's do this. Let me open it up so I can show you the icons here. Okay, so these are the little icons so I can know what I'm looking for. They're really cool. I mean, again, it was like 30 bucks or something. But if you want to add quick texture really quick, this is totally the way to go. People use alphas all the time, so I've kind of shied away from them, but I think they're really cool. We can make it a hammered looking fish. But I want to find the scales. I saw some scales. Creature skin, maybe? I'm trying to find some fish scales. These ones, 06, kind of look scaly. 02, let's try that. File, append. I forgot the name of it. Creature scales 02. What does simple mean? Oh no, I don't want simple. Okay, so go up into the draw brush and then you can find it right there. So let's see, I'm going to save this as day 3 fish. Oh, I still got to do those lower fins. Oh, look at that. Okay. So they kind of... Look how much detail that adds so quickly. Boom. The question is that the kind of scales I want? Oops. I got it for this brush. Apparently I have to go all the same direction. Do I want those kinds of scales? What other things we got? Any meaner looking scales? Yeah. It's fine. You know what I could do? These ones are really cool, these creature group ones. Watch this. Creature group, let's just choose a random one. Oh, that's what that does. Since we're making this a monster, right? Give him some like barnacle looks. Maybe he's got some barnacles underneath him. I don't know if this is too much. It's probably too much. I don't care. Okay, I'm keeping it. I don't care. This video is getting long. Oops. 5, Shift R. Let's get this down so we can Control R, and then let's get back into. Oh, see, then we have to go back into draw mode for that one if we want to do that. But it gives me an excuse to use those brushes, right? You can find them on Gumroad. Just look for like a, or not Gumroad, ArtStation, like for Blender brushes or something. You'll probably recognize them. I don't know who, I can't remember who made them. They're really cool. Okay, let's finish this off. Shift R. Some geometry, Control R, Shift D to go into my whatever. I'm just trying to finish this off. This one doesn't have as much geometry and it's bugging me. So what I can do, I can actually see what I did this one at, 0.01033, so that I can go into this one, and I can go 0.01033, and then I'll remesh it. Becomes a lot smoother. Let's just smooth it out real quick, and then Shift D to get those lines back. Oops, what did I just do? I scaled it. And then I can hold Control to bring some of them up a little bit. They're just fins, it's fine. So let's shade smooth that. I think I'm gonna stop there. I think maybe I'll try and add a little bit of an eyelid to make it a little bit meaner here. I might have to fix my barnacles around his eyeballs. Okay, I know this isn't a polished video, but I think actual seeing a process of something that I didn't have any idea. I had an idea of a fish, but I didn't think it would turn into this. But I kind of like this. So I hope you like it. The 4 of you watching. Oops. Let's get a little bit more geometry here. And I might have to Shift D. Just try to find a nice line here to finish this out. Let's scrape that. Okay, I might fiddle with it a little bit more. Okay, well, thank you, and I'll see you on the next challenge.